The NFL draft is literally 4 days away, and with it comes my final mock draft of the 2018 NFL offseason. This one's going to be different because in my other mock drafts, I never did trades because, trades are tricky. They could end up being an unrealistic trade, or, some trades just don't make sense sometimes. But I tried to make these trades as realistic as possible. But don't think that I'm going to go around trading up and down like all over the draft. Just a couple trades literally. But before we get into that, last time I asked for 51 likes. In about a week, you guys crushed it. We got 60 likes. So this time, I'm asking for 52 likes. Can we get 52 likes? Anyways, on to the draft. So, I had our Houston Texans trading up into the second round. Now, if you watch my live streams, and if you don't, you're missing out. Click the notification bell so you don't miss a live stream. I've been saying the whole time, the Texans will trade up into the second round. For who? I don't know. It's going to be a player they like, but they will trade up into the second round. I can totally see it. I don't see why they wouldn't trade up into the second round. They definitely have the draft capital to do so. And the Texans seem to have a philosophy: if there's a player that you like, go up and get him. So I kind of used that to trade up. I might have gave up too much, but this is a player I really like, and I really think he can benefit the Texans. So the Houston Texans traded up to the 10th pick in the second round that belongs to the Miami Dolphins. We ended up giving up the 4th pick in the third round and the 34th pick in the third round, in addition to the 40th pick in the 6th round. Now, the price to trade up from early third to, I guess, kind of middle of the second was pretty high, but again, if there's a player that you like, go and get him. Who is this player? Isaiah Oliver, corner out of Colorado. Now, Isaiah Oliver is projected to be a early second to middle of the second round pick. Some are even saying he might slip in like towards the late of the first round. But in this mock draft, he usually went literally a couple picks right after I picked him to Washington. So I had to trade up ahead of Washington to pick up Isaiah Oliver. Now, Isaiah Oliver is a really good corner, man. He plays good man. He plays good zone. He has good size. He plays the run well. I literally see no issues with him. He's a clear top 5 corner in the draft. And you guys know the Texans need secondary help. Now, Isaiah Oliver would be a day 1 starter on this team. J. Joe might be the number 1 corner. Isaiah Oliver will probably be the 2. And Aaron Colvin will be the 3. And it wouldn't even surprise me if Isaiah Oliver ends up being the 1 from day 1. Now, we gotta start thinking about life after Joseph. I know Joseph isn't really what he used to be, but the Texans are still trying to push him out there like he is still that guy. I don't really think he is anymore. But regardless, I still think we need to start thinking about what we're going to do after he retires. So Isaiah Oliver comes in. He starts right away. He helps the secondary out, and he could take over J. Joe's spot, I guess, that he leaves. So now, with the 16th pick in the third round, I actually ended up trading back with the Baltimore Ravens and acquired an extra 4th round pick in addition to their 3rd round pick. So we just swapped picks, and I acquired an extra 4th rounder, which I could kind of see happening because sometimes teams get desperate, but I do think they kind of overpaid a bit for it, but I could still see it happening. So With the 19th pick in the 3rd round, I selected Alex Kappa, offensive tackle out of Humboldt State. Now, you guys know how I feel about Kappa. If you watched my previous mock drafts, I don't trust Chantrell Henderson, Julian Davenport. I'm like a bit in the middle of. Now, Alex Kappa, I could definitely see him being a day 1 starter at right tackle. He does need to get adjusted to the NFL game because, again, small college, the talent gap between a small college and the NFL is huge. So he needs to overcome that before he can start. Hopefully he's able to do that sooner rather than later. But I do think this is a good pick here for the Texans. And in the 4th round, the 3rd overall pick in the 4th round, I have the Texans selecting Ian Thomas, tight end out of Indiana. Now, you guys know Fedorowicz retired, so the Texans are in need of a tight end. Ryan Griffin, I think he could be an excellent number 2 tight end. Steven Anderson can be a good situational tight end that we could throw in there in certain situations to exploit a mismatch. But we still need that tight end that can go out there and catch and can also block. Now, Ian Thomas isn't all that great of a run blocker yet. He has the skills to be a really good run blocker, but he's not there yet. He needs to develop a little bit more. I could see him being a day 1 starter, but run blocking is something he needs to improve on, but that's okay. I'll take it. With the 18th pick in the 4th round, which we acquired from Baltimore, I had the Texans selecting Kaiser White, strong safety out of West Virginia. As you guys know, we need secondary help, and Kaiser White, I feel like could come in here day 1 and contribute. He can cover tight ends. He could play in the box. He could play as a deep safety. He can cover well. So an all-around good player in my opinion. And since we don't have a 5th round pick, the 3rd pick in the 6th round, I have the Texans selecting KK Coutinho, wide receiver out of Texas Tech. Again, I've picked him before in my previous mock drafts. I really like him. He can play in the slot. He can play outside, that fast, speedy receiver like Will Fuller. He could be a shifty receiver inside. He could be a return specialist, which is really what I would use him as early on, since we don't really have a return specialist, and that's something I think we really lack, something I think we need to fix his atrocious special teams. And with the 37th pick in the 6th round, I have the Texans selecting Armani Watts. Now, I have no idea how this guy keeps falling. He's like so overlooked. I really like him. He's a good cover safety, a decent run stopping safety. I do think he takes a little bit too many risks. I think he needs to be a little bit more conservative in the NFL. But again, I could see this guy at some point being a starter in the league, a starter for the Texans. So now all of a sudden, a safety group that just consisted of Andre Howe and Tyrann Mathieu, all of a sudden you add in Kaiser White and Armani Watts, 2 players that I could definitely see contributing day 1. And with the 4th pick in the 7th round, which is the last pick in the draft, I have the Texans selecting Joe Ostman, outside linebacker / edge rusher out of Central Michigan. Now, this is just a high mortar guy. He's a damn good run stopper, decent pass rusher. He could develop. I really like him because he has a high motor, meaning he's going to keep on going. He's not going to stop. He's not going to quit on the play. He's late in the fourth quarter, he's going to keep on going, which is something we really kind of need, because if you take a look at last year especially, our pass rushers were gassed in the 4th quarter. And that's even early on when Merciless and Watt were still playing. They were gassed. They were getting no pass rush at all in the 4th quarter. So I do think we need a situational pass rusher, and I think Joe Ostman fills that need perfectly. So that concludes my final NFL mock draft. So be sure to comment down below if you like or dislike the trades I made. I think I did a pretty good job with it, but it's not. I don't think it's just me tooting my own horn. I genuinely think that there were pretty good trades that really made sense. But other than that, be sure to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.